apologize if it's a little loud in here, but today I went to the local iron place and I got some 1x1 square tubing, some expanded steel, some really light gauge tubing, which is going to be for the front lights. But my project tonight is going to be to get the angle iron on this basket replaced with the 1x1 square tubing. My dad had made this bracket down here, which will still work really nice. I just have to get this angle iron off. The most important thing is getting my measurements right and getting that basket level with the rest of the machine. Nice subscriber by the name of Mark sent us 2 of these really nice LED lights, and my dad wants them mounted right above the original lights, but you guys know my dad, if it's off by just a little bit, it's not going to be okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure across this part here, the whole black piece on the outside, and that's 5, so 2.5 is center, and then from there we're going to run a straight edge down, and that's going to give us the center of our rack. Wow, that's going to be bright. Wow. Okay, this evening we're going to be working on getting the light out and fitting up the new one, which is going to take a little bit of trimming around the top and bottom to get it to fit right. Here's the old light and of course the new LED. Pretty much the same size. The only difference is the housing on this LED is a little bit taller than the old one. So that's where I'm going to have to trim, is just on the top. Just going to have to trim on the top here. So you can see, you can push it in, so it's not going to be too much. But just a little bit. In fact, I'll probably just trim it on the bottom, because that way if we want to put the old headlights in, you won't see any gap on the bottom versus the top. My trick to trimming this is going to be to use this little bit here that I bought, and essentially as you spin it'll just carve it out. You can get these for Dremel tools or whatever. This one's big enough to fit into a drill. I'm just going to get in here and trim it up a little bit. and this is the side that has the plate on the back. I need to get some more hardware and kind of fix my hole here, but essentially the washer on the back catches the lip of the plastic, and with all 4 of them in there, it'll be really tight. I mean, just with 2 of them, it's not going anywhere. I'm curious to know how bright this is, so let's try to hook it up. Okay everybody, as you know, we're making these lights fit, and I had a moment of trying to figure out some homemade wiring, and it didn't feel right to me. So I took a step back and went and ordered some connectors, and I'll show you here. This is what they look like. Just the focus. So if I can get this just in the right spot. These are what they look like. They have a nice little waterproof kind of silicone spot, and they're nice, almost, I guess you'd say almost like OEM, if I can get it in there right. There it is. So they fit nicely together, and this is definitely what we need for this project, because these little plates, the lights will have to come out so the plates can be painted, and right now it's still, although it's getting into the 40s during the day, it's still too cold for me to paint anything, and so I needed something that wasn't directly wired in, something that you could remove, because if one of these lights gets moisture or a stick hits it and it breaks, I need something that I can swap out and it's not going to be like a hack job, if you will. So we took a step in the right direction there, and that's important. These will also work great on the rack on the front and the back, because if we remove the rack, we can easily disconnect the wiring and then reconnect it when we need. Okay everybody, so I got the light in. It's mounted in real nice. I got washers and lock washers on the back. I don't think it's going anywhere for a long time. One thing I can say is this is as level as I can get it. It's kind of a happy medium. What's going on here is the plastic on the outside is actually like drooped down, and the issue I have is if I level out the light, it looks crooked to the round square hole. And if it's normal, you know, it looks kind of sagging, if you will. So it's in there though, and oh yeah, I don't have it connected here. Let's get it connected real quick. I'll show you guys what it looks like on. There we go. Ta-da! Beautiful. Way brighter than the old one. I'm really happy with how that looks and how it turned out. Just have to do the other side and we'll be good to go. And for anybody that's wondering, I did fix the winch line. I flipped them around, so it's good and proper. For anybody that commented on that, thank you for letting me know it was wrong. I had no idea. Oh, that's awesome. Okay everybody, so the other night my SD card ran out of space. What I did though was, you guys seen it, I got both these lights mounted up. I ended up putting the rack on here, and I just mounted the second light, which is just centered above these LED light pods. And I started with the wiring. So we get the wiring started here. But what I needed to buy was, I needed some of this plastic wire loom. Well, that's what I call it. It's protective wrap is what they call it. But if I can get it to focus here, some loom so that the wiring can't get damaged. And then I needed a couple of switches as well. You can see I just got some toggle switches, one for the front and one for the rear. The lights that are on here though are looking fantastic. I think they're turning out nice. It's hard to line everything up, being that nothing is quite square like I said before, but these lights are working perfect. The switch is a little goofy there, but these are working great, and this evening I would like to work on getting the front lights wired up and then selecting a mount for the back lights also. One other thing that I did the other night was the original wing nut that holds the hood down has been misplaced some way or another. So I went to look up the replacement, and the replacement was $20-something for a simple screw wing nut. And so I took a bolt, ran it up, drilled a hole in it, and put in a cotter pin for free, and my dad was okay with the idea. So that's how it turned out, and I think it'll work well for ever. I completely forgot how easy it is to access the motor compartment even with this rack on. One of the cool features of the Argo is the fact that this just slides right off, and from there you can fish it out one way or another like so and get access to what you need on the inside. Oh man. Yeah, that just happened. Keep on trucking. Perfect. So originally on the inside, when I was going through the wiring, there was this little fuse holder, and yeah, the fuse is still good. So I'm actually going to hook this up as my power to these lights. So before I do any heat shrinking or anything like that, I just want to get an idea of these lights to see how they're doing. So what I'll do first is I'll just try to find a... Oh, alright. Come on, baby. There. Holy crap, those are bright. Try to make everything out in the open so that if there is a problem, because it seems like, you know, aftermarket lights always seem to have an issue. There we go. Let's try this for fun. Holy moly ravioli. Beautiful. Works just like it should. Alright, so we'll have our regular headlights, and then those. That is so bright. That is awesome. That on there. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Nice heavy duty switch. Alright, let's get this mount off. If you guys are wondering, my dad has a GPS and one of those little handheld ones. And that's where that used to sit, but since we don't use it anymore, he said, well yeah, might as well take that off. So we'll take that off and we'll mount our other switches right there next to the lights. Oh, there was a switch hole there before. Beautiful. So we'll pull this switch. That's your headlights. And these ones are more of the wide angle. That is so bright though. I love how these lights have worked out. These two low ones being a little bit further reach, and then the two high ones are great for all around work. I mean, even over here, look at that. Awesome. Alright, so I think the easiest way to mount this light bar is going to be up on the bottom, and we'll put the bracket upright with a nice washer, and we'll mount it right to this mesh. Of course, initially I think we're going to stuff it all the way in the back and see how that works, but you can really play with it anywhere by using the mesh. That's why I like that. That's not super permanent in any way. Now, some of this expanded steel, the welds have popped over time, so I'm going to fire up my welder and get this welded back down again. That way we know what we're working with. And by putting it all the way in the back, if we throw wood in here or anything like that, it's not going to be moving around too much. I'll probably spot weld some of these spots and get it reinforced back there a little bit. But yeah, we'll mount it just like that, way in the back here, and that way you get light illuminating up, and you can also put a trailer on and see everything that's going on down there. So give her a rest. Alright, so we got this in. I put the mounts so it sticks down about 3/4 of an inch. So if you throw something in here that's real heavy, it shouldn't, being it's on the back, it shouldn't hit that light bar. And then also I had to move it forward just a little bit so that it had full turn because it was hitting the back before. So all I have to do now is run my wire from the battery over this way. I'm just going to tuck it around the edge, and then my one ground wire needs to be grounded out to frame, which I'll find something. Probably actually just ground it right over here, but it'll be good. Switch is on. Plug it in. Ooh, doesn't even need a ground. You can see there's a little light illuminating up, and kind of give you a shot of it this way. A nice height. I angled it a little bit down, but I think that's kind of where you'd be working anyways. Oh wow, that's a lot of light. Very cool. All right, we're fully set up and ready to go. I just got preoccupied with some new ramps that I bought. And now I'm kind of getting back to wrapping this up this evening. I'm going to take it for a spin tomorrow. But we got all 4 lights on the front that are wired up. We have the wires tucked underneath for the back. We got sitting back there. The connection point is right here. So you'd unclick these and then the basket comes off. I did incorporate a ground even though it lit up without it. And then I just put a little hole on the top inside in case water came up at all, that we can just put a little dab of silicone on, and then it runs underneath all the way around. I have to just tuck it in here a little bit better to there, and it goes up to the switch and etc. So of course we have our regular lights, which are now those nice LEDs. The next switch is for the front, the 2. The third switch here is for the back. And in case you're wondering, this switch here at night is crucial to have light so you can see what gear you're in, and back here was just a nice thing also so you could see, but this is what all the lights on. So let's just do a little walk around here. This thing is insanely bright. I cannot believe it. Let's turn the lights off once. Oh man, oh man. Wow, look at that. I did have the door open. I turned those on, the back one on, and it lit up the neighbor's house. But you can see at night, if you're driving this thing, it gives you just enough where you can see what gear you're going to be in. And then the back as well, you can see what's back there. It shines up so you can see in the cargo space, which is important. Oh man, look at this light. So let's turn off the main driving lights. Oh, sorry about that. Let's turn off the main driving lights. So you can see that they are really focused right straight ahead. And then we'll turn off these ones. You can see they really light up the edges. And the back one is a no-brainer. By angling it up, it did get a little bit up high, which is nice. Oops, that's the wrong one. Obviously, whoop. So this thing at night is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But if you get a deer right at night, right when the sun's going down, this is going to be incredible, front and back. We never had light like this before, and so having it like that is wonderful because you have all three switches right next to each other, which makes it really easy. I'm gonna have to take this thing out at night, light up the world. Awesome. All right, well, tomorrow I'm gonna take this thing for a rip. All right, got it unloaded. It's running real good right now. You get to see those nice lights on the front. Alright. Well, I'm just going to run it in low gear for a while and let it warm up. And then from there, we'll see. But actually down this road, it gets real muddy once it goes to the minimum maintenance part. So hopefully we have a fun time. Okay, that was low gear. Put her in high gear. Alright guys, so we went on a good ride. I got kind of to that, a little bit further than that tree there, and it's starting to kind of bog down. Nothing seemed out of ordinary. I'm riding in low. Yeah, especially since it's bogging down. Not sure. But regardless, we made a pretty good loop. I found this tire. I needed a tire, a spare tire for my trailer at home, so it's a 15-inch, and I just got to measure the bolt pattern to see if this one's right. But regardless, I'll take it out of here because it's trash. But I wanted to get some pictures of the Argo by this beautiful tree here, because these trees here are my favorite kind. So, oh, we're rolling. We're rolling. We got all the power in the world. Come on. I don't know what it could be. Well, regardless, I'm just gonna get some pictures of it here and get it back on the trailer. It's not sounding too good. Alright. I'll show you all these lights we got. So you got our main lights, front and back. It's looking good. And then we'll check out the back. The back's kind of hard to see from the top, but it throws an awesome amount of light off. So you can probably see the backlight there. It illuminates the basket. This thing just idles.